Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 48 of the Husker Hype Radio Podcast. I'm Eddie Rosenthal, joined with the one and only Dr. E-Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Forsman, he's on the pod as well. Aaron Worsfold is gone. It's a Thursday. Schedule of conflict. I mean, all we can say though is that he doesn't want to be here. Obviously, that's what we kind of get out of this, is that Aaron doesn't want to be here. And you know what? That's fine. We'll do it ourselves. We'll do it our dang selves, man. But we miss Aaron today, of course. Eli, are you having a beer today, buddy?
I was having one. It's already done.
What the fuck? I'm the only one drinking on Husker Hype Radio. I got my Californians for Nebraska koozie, bleed red shitcord t-shirt on. Guess what's inside this bad boy?
That ain't Cornhusker Lager, is it?
Nope, you can't get that around here, but I wish.
Yeah, ship it out. Ship it out.
Yeah. No, we have a PBR, which I picked because it's pretty damn close to GBR. If you think about it, maybe Nebraska should sell beers, PBRs, and then just put a little G over it, X out it, put a G, make a deal with PBR. That'd be sick. They are made in Milwaukee though, so I'm drinking Badger piss. It tastes like Badger piss, and you know what? I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna harness that energy for when we play Wisconsin. We play Wisconsin this season, right?
Yeah, yes we do.
I'm gonna harness that energy and just fucking. It's like drinking the blood of your enemy, you know? What it is. It doesn't taste good, but it's going down. I'm a fucking warrior. So yeah, let's get right into the pod, guys. Some outside news, folks. Today is Thursday, April 11th, 2024. If you haven't heard already, Orenthal James Simpson is dead. Apparently, it was the cancer that got him through cancer treatment. Hell of a running back. Hell of a ball player. I don't think anybody can refute that. I mean, his college stats, he had 11,000 yards in the NFL, only played 2 years in college. Second year, he had 1,800 yards in 1968. That's pretty fucking wild.
Holy shit.
22 touchdowns in 1968. That boy was balling.
Yeah, that boy was nutty on the field. Holy shit.
Yeah. And do you think he's looking down on us right now, or do you think he's looking up?
Probably looking up. He's probably looking up.
You don't think that maybe the man upstairs said, you know what? Yeah, that was bad what you did, but dude, you were a pretty baller at SC. Like, if God is an SC fan, then he's definitely looking down.
But unfortunately for him, God is a Nebraska football fan.
That's right, baby.
He's putting us through tough times, and we're gonna come through the other side.
That's right. He's teaching us a lesson that we'll never forget, and this is going to be part of Nebraska scriptures. It's going to be Frost 2021. I suck ass, but I will come back stronger and better than I ever have before. Rhule 001. If we die, we die.
If we die, we die.
That's right. I mean, I don't even know if I want to say rest in peace, OJ, but that's another thing too, man. Only God knows if he did it.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
I can tell you what I do know. That boy was a hell of a football player.
Hell of a ball player. Hell of a ball player. Yep. Cool, man. I mean,
he probably did it. He probably did it.
He probably did it.
Yeah. He probably did it.
Yeah, he's in hell. But he's in hell. Well, let's get into the thick of it, folks. We're in the middle of spring practice. We have less days to go than spring ball has already had. And I think today was 10 out of 15 days that they could practice. And Matt Rhule, I mean, this is the bright side. We were recording late on a Thursday, but we got a Matt Rhule press conference out of it, so we can talk about that. And well, let's talk a little bit before. Let's go a little bit the week before. Coaches Clinic, Bill Belichick showed up, a friend of Matt's. You have anything to say about that? 900 coaches came this year. The previous year was 300. Matt Rhule, they want to know what Matt Rhule and Bill Belichick have to say. People are coming to Lincoln, Nebraska because they want to know what the people in Lincoln, Nebraska are doing, how they want to know what they did last year, 5-6, and how they're going to turn that into 12-0. People already know what's going to happen, dude. And
Yep.
they're here to get this knowledge soaked into their frontal cortex. Our invitation must have got lost in the mail or something. I don't know, Eli. That was weird. Whatever. It's
It is
fine.
what it is.
Yeah. What do you want to say about Bill?
I mean, Bill's the GOAT. So the fact that he's gonna be coming to Nebraska because he trusts Matt Rhule's doing football the right way, I mean, it speaks for itself. There's really
It says a
what else
lot.
can you say?
And apparently Bill and Matt, they go back. Matt Rhule called Bill Belichick about when he got offered the job in Lincoln, and Bill said, "That's a damn good job, bud. You want to be part of one of the greatest programs in the history of college football, in the history of football? You take that job and turn it around and fucking get known there forever." I can't wait for the Matt Rhule statue, dude. That's coming up in 3 years. I think it's coming up in 3 years, dude. After back to back, we're gonna be pumped.
Yeah,
No, it's really sick that he came, and it does speak volumes to what kind of who Matt Rhule is in the world of football. You know,
yeah. Mhm.
like he's not going to Oregon to see Dan Lanning or uh Alabama even to see Kalen DeBoer. He's coming to Nebraska, the heartland of America, and seeing what's going on in Lincoln. And you gotta love that. And I feel like, recruits, they know who Bill Belichick is. And that's a talking point where you can say, hey, I know Bill, man. You know, I know Bill, and Bill knows me. And we're kind of friends. So that's pretty sick. What else was I gonna say? Fuck.
I was gonna add on to that with Bill Belichick, Matt Rhule said something about they were in a meeting, just him and the coaches, and it was going on for 3 hours, and something about he had to get coffee or something because he had to use the restroom. But anyway, to your point where it's like, or you can tell recruits that, oh, I know Bill. If you're a coach, you have a drill, be like, well, Bill Belichick told me this works, so that's why we're doing this drill. If you're a
Right.
player, like, okay, okay, that's gonna make me better.
That's an
Bill
easy way
Belichick,
to get your players invested. This is what I
yeah,
was going to say though, as I don't know if it was Bill Belichick or maybe Matt Rhule said this about how they're running practices and kind of how there's no guys that are taking reps. You're not watching the ones and the twos go against each other. You got freshmen, you got true freshmen on 3 different fields apparently, all running reps and doing things. So recruits coming in to practice, they're saying, hey, I'm going to get better here no matter what. If I'm a true freshman, I'm not going to wait my turn sophomore, junior year to even get a look on the practice field. I'm getting reps. I'm getting better every single day. And I'm playing with these ones and two guys with their new NSL, Nebraska Spring League.
yeah, yeah.
Seen that? That's kind
I've
of
seen,
interesting. I think it's kind of a fun thing for the fans more. Uh,
yes, yeah.
and it kind of keeps us engaged in spring ball. We got the Bug Eaters, we got the Rattlesnake Boys,
The
and
old Golden Knights.
the old Golden Knights. Yeah, interesting. We got the injured guys. I think Deshaun Singleton is general manager of the Rattlesnake Boys, and I don't remember all the other ones, but they're making trades and really more for the fans. But at the end of the day, it's giving everybody reps, which I think is something that is very important. And dude, a true freshman, somebody maybe Demetrius Bell, Ja'Cory Barney, Isabel Smith Flores is going against that one defense, and all of a sudden they go, "Who's this guy?" It gives them an opportunity to really show who they are early on in their college career, which I think is pretty sick. And coming back to my original point was Matt Rhule saying that Bill Belichick saw this practice and said, there's not a lot of other teams in the countries whose nobody's taken a rest. Nobody's taken a knee during fucking football practice. When we're practicing football, we're practicing football. We're full fucking go, baby. We're putting fucking scars on those helmets, on those Guardian caps. Okay? We're bumping helmets, dude. We're wrapping up. We're thudding pads. And the only other teams that are doing that, Alabama and Georgia. And
is Alabama doing that anymore without Nick Saban? We don't know.
So it might just be Georgia and Nebraska. And Georgia, I don't know if you guys saw the past 3 years, those guys are doing pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Those are some guys that we want to emulate. We got to get past the fact that we're not Georgia and Alabama yet.
We did just take the Georgia quarterback. Right. Well.
Yeah, we do. We do got a guy that said, I saw Georgia and dude, go big red, baby. I want to wear that scarlet. I don't want to wear that red. I want to wear that scarlet and cream, dog. Although I still do bleed red and shit corn.
Yes.
It looks better on a shirt. You don't say bleed scarlet. You say bleed red.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bill Belichick, he came around. I guess Solich was at practice today.
Yep.
Which is nice to see. I think it's good to see Frank Solich back. It's never like he wasn't accepted at Nebraska, but a guy who is he's in the College Football Coaching Hall of Fame. It's good to see him there.
Yes.
And
being respected at Nebraska, honored even.
Something you got to do. Despite his 2 years of coaching, he was the running backs coach or whatever on Tom Osborne's staff forever. Played football for Nebraska. 145-pound fullback, dude.
Dog.
Think about those days. Eli, if we were in the 1950s, we would have been star football players for Nebraska. Take me back. I would have been a center, and you would have been the fullback, man.
Hell no, I'd be like, Coach, I got some X's and O's we draw up on the sideline over here. I'm not playing, but I'll draw some X's and O's for you.
No, you get fired up. I know that you put the pads on. You think you wouldn't, but I know you would.
Yeah, I would. For the boys, I would.
You get the pads on. I mean, just the pads, obviously not the helmet, like we talked about.
Yeah, there's no helmet.
Yeah, this little leather sack of shit. I'll use this as a club. I'll use my leather helmet as a fucking club and just whip motherfuckers as I go down the field, dude. I don't need that thing on my head.
Coach is like, I love that guy. He's got a heart. He's got a heart.
Exactly. Yeah, Eli. The boy's got a heart. What else? Just kind of bouncing around here. Matt Rhule's press conference. We can kind of talk about that. I got the notes. Huskers or 247 Huskers. I don't know if you guys know about him on X, but he kind of gives all the breakdowns of every Matt Rhule press conference, and he's great. Shout out to 247 Huskers. Kind of gives me, I mean, he's got it all planned out, so you don't even have to listen to the press conference. And yeah, he's kind of talking. He started talking about the O-line first. O-line depth is challenging the ones.
Yep.
Gives a shout out to our boy TK, Tyler Canuck, has done a great job so far. It'd be great to see TK out on the field. Tiny. What do we think about this O-line coming into or halfway through spring ball?
There's a lot of things that they stepped or they covered. I guess just starting with the second group overall, Justin Evans Jenkins and Henry Lutovsky. It sounds like they're going to be the ones competing for that left guard position. Justin Evans Jenkins, a good backup, great backup. Coach Rhule says Lutovsky's working at guard and right tackle, so they can both. If somebody gets hurt, they can step in and start. And then there's even guys like Grant Bricks and Preston Talmunga that are obviously going to be the future of Nebraska's offensive line.
Right. And I feel like kind of like running back, uh, almost the same as offensive line is we don't really know how that room is going to look or depth wise until
Mm-hmm.
fall ball
Yeah,
because I'd say ingrained is starting for sure is going to be Ben Scott at center. Um, Bryce Benhart at right guard. And then those other three positions, I feel like as of right now, dude, is honestly that's a who can play the best. Do you
I,
disagree?
I was on the same page today until Ben Scott came out and he talked today at the press conference. He said that Micah Mazuka is really starting to catch on with Coach Raiola's teaching. And like when Coach Raiola is teaching him something, he'll apply it really fast and I'll be like, okay, this is actually working. And he's dominating at practice. As soon as I heard the word dominating come out of Ben Scott's mouth, I'm like, okay. So that's what I like to hear. He's going to be starting right guard.
That's probably somebody that he wants to have by his side. A little
Yeah.
floor boy. He's
Yeah.
played in the SEC, bro. He's played against the Dogs. He's played against the Tide. He definitely has the power and strength. It's really for him just about like we talked about in the previous pods where he's just got to learn how to be a Nebraska football player.
Yeah. And I feel like he's adapting pretty well. Matt Rhule hasn't said anything about him negatively. Um,
Right.
but hearing the word dominate, that really got my attention. And another crazy thing that I learned today, Bryce Benhart is going to be the most senior offensive lineman ever, most starts ever for any Nebraska offensive lineman. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. Yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of a name where it's like Ben Hart, he's just done okay in the previous years, I feel. But just kind of through what we've been in the past 5, 6 years, that's kind of what we've been at, you know.
Mhm.
And I mean a 6 year starter, I mean, he's not going to be a guy that's not going to be good out there, but yeah, that is very interesting. You think of all the guys that have been through Nebraska's pipeline and Ben Hart. That kind of shows you what we've been at offensive line the past years, you know?
That is true. I think last year he did step up a lot, though. Last year he stepped up big time as far as pass protection goes, because he gave up quite a few sacks on Casey Thompson, and
Right.
I, I think it'll be exciting. Because Rule said it in the prompts as well. He's trying to build an NFL type pocket, so that's where. And that made me think like, okay, so that kind of sounds like Heinrich Harbaugh's taking a backseat to old Raiola.
Got to protect that nephew, bro. Got
Yeah.
to protect that nephew, or Uncle Dominic's not gonna be happy.
No. No.
Uh,
Beyond that.
yeah, he talked about Grant Bricks, Gibson Pyle, both guys. Grant Bricks, the Iowa guy who if you guys don't remember, we took the damn semi truck to his high school, parked it out front. Say, how you like this, Hawkeyes? And then Gibson Pyle is a 4-star Texas guy. Um, yeah, it's great. Quarterback position, kind of talking about that. I feel like it's ones and twos right now, as little as what Matt Rhule has said. If we're talking pro style pocket, it's going to be Dylan and Danny K.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Heinrich, God bless his soul, but he just can't throw the football as well as those two guys, even though they're true freshmen, you know?
Yeah.
But there's no doubt about that. We can put him somewhere else.
For sure.
He's not a horrible, he's a football player, but is he a quarterback is the question. And a third stringer, yeah. If we're down or put him in third and goal and have him lower his shoulder like he did in the first couple of games when he played, you know, that's not going to
Mhm.
last. But for 1, 2 plays inside the 5, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll do it.
Yeah, dude. Um, what else do we got here? Uh, Going back to the running backs. Um, uh, Gabe Irvin, hip problem still. Ramir, I guess his shoulder injury isn't as bad as Gabe's, but they're kind
No.
of holding him back because they know what he can do.
Mhm.
and then Emmett Johnson and Dante Dowdell. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Emmett, man.
I know, and I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I don't either because the flashes that I saw of him, how quick that he cuts and goes up the field.
Yes.
And if we get a line that can create holes for that dude and his quick fucking burst, dude, like that's dangerous. And he was a true freshman then, and he showed nobody plays or running back at Nebraska as a true freshman, and he did what he had to do. I feel like for that season, in his scenario, top two guys out, he comes in all of a sudden, and he's
Yeah.
now got a whole year under his belt where he started pretty much all last year. I think that Emmett could take out Gabe and Ramir for that starting spot. Even Dante, like it's like we said about the offensive line. It's really going to be in fall camp where we know where those guys are going to be at on the depth chart.
Yeah. And Emmett Johnson, it's not like he just like had good ball security, got 4 yards when he needed it. He had some game changing runs down the stretch in the Big Ten when he was probably a little banged up because every running back is. He was still breaking through runs. So
And
it was
he had what 60-70% of the carries. Anthony Grant did not really touch the ball that much at all.
no, because he turned the ball over too much.
Yeah, third down back. And then who would have been the guy behind him? Quentin Ives, who came in 2 plays a game.
Yep. Yep.
So it was Emmett Johnson show all year last year. And yeah, if we can just keep all those dudes healthy, that's going to be a very healthy rotation. What else do we got here?
Running backs, Micah Mazuka's brother got a shout out this week. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even know he was on the team.
Until this press conference today.
Yeah, tell this press conference, when Matt Rhule spoke, I think on Monday. He's like, he probably should have been the third down back last week, and I'm like, who's he talking about?
Yeah, I heard his name too. I knew that he was on the team. I knew that his or it's Micah is the running back, or
I think Micah's the guard. I just know that it's Mazuka, and I don't know what his name is.
I think it's with an M as well.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, man, and here's something interesting too is that the media, I guess, is not really seeing the media, us, we are not
Yes.
really seeing at practice. Um, they're just doing drills. They're not showing the media 11 on 11. They're trying to keep that uh within within the program. But I mean at the NSL plays, you see the highlights and they kind of blur out everything other than the guy who's making the play.
Hmm.
So Glenn Thomas, Marcus Satterfield, those boys might got some tricks up their sleeves that they don't want everybody to see. Um, Things might come out for the spring game, but apparently I was listening to Sean Callahan and Steve Sipple, Husker Online, and they said that a couple days ago they did get to see 11 on 11, pads popping, and saw a lot of guys that were making a lot of plays. So, what do you think about not wanting the media to see scrimmage type reps? What do you think the big reason is for that?
Keeping it in house. It's the same thing we kind of went back. I remember talking to you about it last year, even Aaron too, about how the locker room videos, something just as small as that, is like keep the vibes in with the boys. The boys are the boys. You hear about it in the NFL, not letting the media get too much in the locker room, you get a certain amount of time. And I don't mind it. I think as much I don't want to go as far as Minnesota where we don't have a spring game,
Yeah.
but I don't think we need to be showing every single rep like Scott Frost did in practice, and we see where that got us. So
Right, where you're giving your fans almost false hope, where I don't have false hope. I know that we're gonna fucking kick ass this year, but it's
yeah,
also a thing to put out into the world where Nebraska's running whatever play. And it's like, also, dude, it's spring practice. Like,
yeah,
it's not gonna fucking show you what these guys are doing in the fall. Guys are getting reps and figuring out the system still. And probably not a completely new system, but probably some tweaks with Dylan and Kalen going to be playing quarterback. We're gonna pass the ball a little more than we did last year. And that's just the fact of the matter, you know?
I think that changes everything. I think it changes, just like I said earlier, like the line. Everything starts at the trenches. The tackles aren't. He said like last year we were hoping like, with Sims and Purdy and Heinrich that we were kind of hoping that a defensive lineman would jump out of his gap so that one of those quarterbacks could run through that open hole. But now we're trusting on the quarterback's ability to read the pocket, move like Tom Brady in there, and find that open seam and drill wide receiver. And I think they're both built to do that. And that's part of the reason that we brought Glenn Thomas down from the NFL so we can establish a system like that.
Right. And yeah, completely different, probably game plan offensive wise as we had last year, to where you want to rely more on your quarterback and offensive line than the guys around them to make to then Emmett Johnson to bounce out and make a play on the outside, or fucking Marcus Washington to catch a curl route and juke out three guys to, get a touchdown. It's
Yep.
going to be, let's see what our quarterback can do, check down, get the ball to the right guy, and play sound fundamental football rather than trying to have something happen like a spark or get lucky almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
That's what it
not
felt
trying to
like.
get lucky anymore.
hmm
This is we're gonna play our football and fucking X's and O's. We're better than you.
Run the ball, Thomas Field, play action.
Run the ball,
And with
Thomas Spinoni, play action. Run the ball, Isaiah Nair, play action. Run the ball, Jamal Banks, play action. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Touchdown, Nebraska! Fireball shot, baby! Let's fucking go! This is Big Red football! Fuck you, Colorado!
oh, I can't wait for that game.
I want to talk about this really quick. How about Colorado adding Warren Sapp to the coaching staff?
Didn't even know that happened.
Did
Didn't
you hear
even know
about
that.
that?
Nope.
Dude, dude, I already know how many signs there will be of Warren Sapp. Welcome to Lincoln Warren with him when he played for Miami with his knee on the ground in the
And
Orange Bowl.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know that hype video where it's one of the Peter brothers. And
Jason.
yeah, and he goes, "What's that big motherfucker's name? The motherfucker who was on his fucking knees after the second goal. Big fucking fat son of a bitch, Sapp. We had that motherfucker on his knees." Dude, he's going to be on his knees again, both knees, sobbing that he doesn't have the chance to beat Nebraska and get revenge as a Buffalo.
I can't wait for that fucking game. Oh, I can't wait for that game.
I can't wait for all of us Husker Hype Radio guys to be there and just go. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is going to be.
But yeah. What do we got? Defense here. Tony White, I think, talked today as well, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Aaron and I got around to talking about Tony White's press conference last week, but some kind of like position things. One of the biggest ones I think is Malcolm Hartzog moving exclusively
To safety.
to safety.
Yeah.
What do we think about that?
That one surprised me because when I think of safeties, I'm thinking of like a Cam Chancellor. I know he's a bigger safety, but I don't think of a Malcolm Hartzog type body. I know Evan Cooper said that he put him in some bad situations last year, so we're going to focus on developing him at one position. But I did not expect that position to be safety.
Right. And if you think about safety versus cornerback and the depth that we have on there, we got Buford, Gifford, and Singleton. Those three guys can all play safety and they can play safety well. But as for cornerback, we know we got Tommy Hill, but still don't know who's on the other side. I
And
mean,
maybe they're seeing some fierce competition. They're like, we're good there.
right. But how much is Hartzog going to play when both Buford, Gifford, and Singleton are rotating? I feel like he almost and Malcolm was his first year, probably our best cornerback on the team.
Oh yeah, I was so fired up about him after that block punt. Yeah.
Better than Tommy Hill, I almost want to say that his true freshman year that he played. Tommy Hill
Mhm.
was better this past year. But yeah, just that other side that is still a question mark. But we got three guys who we know are good in the back and safety already when we only played two. That was interesting to me and something that I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, like you said, I guess these guys, we're not watching practice. We're not evaluating these players every day. So I'm going to trust our coaches and Evan Cooper, but it's an interesting move to say the least.
And one thing I will also mention is that it's Tony White's defense. You never know who's going to be out there. He might just be getting as many sets as possible to confuse these quarterbacks. And he also mentioned, or Evan Cooper mentioned that in Tony White's defense, that safety position can come down and be more of a nickel corner or a slot corner, if you will.
Probably,
So it's sorry.
I was going to say, you said corner. I was thinking kind of Gifford going down playing an outside backer position, but also a corner where you get a different package with Malcolm and he drops down, but instead he's playing corner. And then
Mm,
that next series or play or whatever, you put Gifford in, and now all of a sudden he's dropping down, but he's blitzing to that fucking quarterback and ripping his fucking head off.
yes. You
Type
could
deal.
have both of them in. Even if you have like a one middle linebacker set, you have two safeties in. Gifford's just messing with the quarterback because hey, I don't know if you guys caught this week, but Gifford's gonna be one of the best players in the country.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Watch out.
I
Watch out.
I guess I heard Sipple say the other day or on his podcast that Gifford had 35 more tackles than anybody on the defense last year. This dude came back with vengeance, bro. He's not coming back for no reason.
Yeah, he's
Come back and he probably one of the best leaders on the team as well. And
yeah.
yeah, he's gonna be a dog. What about Nash Hutbacher? You heard Rule say that, him and Terrence Knighton got into it because Nash wanted to go out and play, but Terrence said, "No, you need to rest." But he said, "Hey, I want to play football, man."
Yeah, I'm not here. I'm not here to rest.
That's
I'm
the guy.
here to. Oh
That's
man.
the guy you want on your team, bro.
Yeah,
Said,
yeah.
"Hey, I just got back from nationals a week ago. I know, but
If
I'm
you
ready
don't
to
let
take."
me play right now, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, I'm fighting pot roast, dude.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
You're nuts.
You think he said you want to wrestle, motherfucker? You want to fucking wrestle, bitch? Let's go. Let's go on the mat. Let's fucking wrestle. Yeah, dude, that's sick. I mean, that's just a great press conference, little tidbit to where you kind of know where these guys are at competition wise.
Yeah.
And that's never a bad thing to where a guy who we already know what he can do, but he's saying, "Hey, give me some reps, dude. I didn't come here to dick around and coach guys. I will coach them up, but also let me do a couple swim moves. Let me do some rips, bro.
Let me
Let me
feel this new body weight and see if I want to stay down at 295 or if I want to be at 315.
Right. Right. It's awesome, man.
It
A little bit. I
really.
I mean, I don't unless you want to talk about anything else. What do you think?
This spring league thing. I know we said it's a little more for the fans. It feels a little fixed for me. The first three results have been split. One team wins, one team wins, one team wins. This is feeling like it's gonna be a tiebreaker at the very end. And I think it's good, all the reps and everything, but I'm not getting too bought into it. I'm not getting too bought into it at all.
No, I'm not either. And I think what we said before, it's for the fans. It's for the fans to
Yeah,
kind of have something to engage in with spring ball. But also it might be set out that way to where the teams are so even that guys and competition, guys are competing, and it's just coming down to that where it's by a point here, a point there, and you come back the next day and maybe the points are fixed so that they compete more and they say, "Hey, I want to
yeah,
fucking win this shit. We're 1 point away. Our team is 1 point away from this fucking team, you know?"
yep.
And yeah, iron
That's what you
sharpens
want.
iron, man.
Yeah, yep.
It's a beautiful
Uh,
stuff.
last thing, this Saturday is going to be the first scrimmage for Nebraska football this season. This season it's going to be a 180 play scrimmage. Matt Rhule, if you're out there, send the boys a little press pass. You know what I'm saying? I know the
Yeah,
last one got missed, but go ahead and send us one out. No ill will. We'll
yeah.
appreciate it.
Maybe Eli just walk in with a bleed red shitcorn t-shirt and they'll go, "Oh, yeah, I don't know what
Where you
you
been?
yeah, where have you been?" Exactly. Yeah,
Coach
dude.
Rhule's been waiting for you.
Did you change your address? Like they'll know who you are.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So just walk in and you'll probably get in. How was your 22nd birthday, man?
It
You
got my
remember?
drink.
You remember?
A little bit of bar hopping down in old downtown, but
Who'd you go with?
woke up D Rock and some cousins.
Nice. Hell
Woke
yeah.
up next morning by a towel and facing the toilet seat. So boy had a good night. Had a good
Yeah,
night.
that's perfect, man.
Don't
That's
remember much.
right on. Beautiful.
Yep.
We love
Woke
it.
up saying "fuck Deion Sanders" and "Go Big Red."
Uh, all right, folks. Well, that was episode 48 of the Husker Hype Radio podcast. I'm Eddie Rosenthal. That's Eli Forsman, Dr. E-Rock. Hopefully, all three of us can be here next week. Been a little iffy the past couple of weeks where we've only had two or three of us on, but schedules conflict. And regardless, Husker Hype Radio is on every week. Folks, we apologize for the late episode, but you got it here. You got the Matt Rhule press conference breakdown. You got the Orenthal James Simpson tribute, I put in air quotes. And you got the Warren Sapp, how much he's going to be on his knees in the game next year. Folks, as always, bleed red, shit
Get
corn,
corn.
go
Go
big
Big
red.
Red.
Peace.